Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Supergirl. So let's start talking about this episode. So here we get to see, honestly, a lot of moving parts, a lot of characters having story, which I'm really happy about. I think this is the first episode that we've really seen all the characters have a story. Actually, just remembered Martian Manhunter didn't really have a story, but honestly, last couple episodes he's been kind of a vocal point. So I understand why he wasn't in this episode as much. But there are characters that really haven't been shown that much, like Winn and James being spotlighted a bit in this episode. So what is this episode about? Well, the main story is about these group of, I would say, villains group of human villains collecting these alien guns, and they can defeat Supergirl. They're getting people afraid, and now Supergirl wants to figure out, alright, how do we destroy these things? But actually it's Lena Luthor who comes up with this plan without telling anybody to make this gala party to bring them all there and bait them and destroy these weapons. So she kind of has a heroic streak here. But then in the end we find out the person that's heading these alien people, or really not alien people, but alien technology to try to get people afraid of aliens, is Lena's mother. So that's the big cliffhanger of this episode, which is kind of this reverse awesome story that Smallville told. In Smallville, originally Lex was not a hero, but he was a friend to Clark, and Lionel was the villain of the story. And then, between season 5, they kind of switched roles. So I wonder if they're going the same route with this show, and they're reversing it. Instead of the father, it's the mother, and instead of Lex, it's Lena. So very curious to see where that story goes. I think Lena's such an interesting character, and I love her dynamic between Kara, and it doesn't seem repetitive from Smallville. Even though there's a lot of parallels to that storyline, I do think there's a place to be different here, because I do see more heroism with Lena than I did with Lex. So, and also, she doesn't really have that, legacy that she has to become a villain. She can be a hero and a friend to Kara, or she might walk the line a bit. Talking about heroism, well, Lena's not the only one who is going towards the role of heroism. We also see James kind of being tired of being the sidekick and being pushed around and wants to be a hero. And I like that they take more realistic point of view here, where I thought, I was like, oh my god, they just want to have more heroes in this show. I really wasn't sure if I wanted James to be the Guardian, which we know that's what's going to happen with the character. But I think they deal with it in a realistic way here, where Winn is like, no, you have no superpowers, you shouldn't do this. And it's not like he goes into action and he's awesome at it. He sucks. He's horrible. But he wants to try to be a hero in, again, a realistic way where they live in a world with aliens, and we'll see what type of vigilante he can be. So I won't say I'm excited for the storyline, but I like it a lot more than I thought I would. I think there's potential with that storyline. But I will say that was probably more of the weaker storyline from this episode, but it wasn't that weak of a storyline. Another story we have here is Mon-El trying to, I guess, find his place on Earth, and Kara literally just wants him to kind of be like her, and not in a way that it's spiteful or like she's like, oh, I'm narcissistic and I want him to be like me. It's just that's kind of what you want for your sibling, and she's either taking a very sibling route or a romantic route. We can't really tell yet if they're just friends or if there's gonna be some romance there. But she's the mentor of him, and it seems like he's not going to be the Catco employee she wants him to be, which is cool. You don't want everyone to go down that path, and I'm excited to see Mon-El kind of create his own path and character for himself, and I'm loving his character and his banter between Kara. Again, very curious if it's going to be romantic, if it's just going to be a friendship. Either way, they have great chemistry, and it was just a lot of fun to watch them, because they are both aliens, and you see how they deal with different situations. And once again, Kara kind of bringing up more that she is an alien. I feel like in season 1, they couldn't do that as often, bringing in her alien culture. They do it again in this episode, which I really like, and referencing her childhood a bit more, which in season 1 they did a little bit, but not enough. And that is either her talking about, hey, I was in 7th grade and I had to integrate into this society that's a hard enough time to do so, or even talking with Alex and talking about things they used to do as kids and how they bonded. You just kind of see how close they were just as kids and obviously now as they've grown. Another character with a great story arc is Alex and Maggie. Been loving their relationship, and I think Maggie, well, really all the new characters have been great additions. Maggie, Mon-El, and Lena. And just like I said last week, I feel like it's really hard for a show to introduce new characters and make it feel organic, or make you feel like you like all these characters, or not feel crowded. And I feel like season 2 of Supergirl did it so perfectly. I love all the new characters. Miss Martian we can even include, but especially the 3 core. Lena, who has, again, a great relationship with Supergirl, and you just want to know her motives. Maggie, which is actually giving a strong storyline for Alex, separate from Kara, which we didn't really have from season 1 until the end with her father, which I'm sure we're going to get to see more of. And then Mon-El, who's just been a really interesting alien character to kind of mix up Kara's life. But yeah, going back to Alex's story, we get to see that Alex is interested in Maggie and doesn't really know how to handle her feelings. So it's her exploring her feelings a bit more in this episode. I'm guessing next episode's going to be more. She actually tries to tell Kara about her feelings for Maggie and just about her romantic feelings in general, but they get interrupted, and I do wonder if they're gonna kind of play the cliche that they're gonna wait it out and kind of tease that she's going to tell Kara, or they're gonna do it right away. By next episode, Kara will know, and you want to know the reaction of Kara. So I am curious to see where that's gonna go, and also see if there will be a romance between Maggie and Alex this season, or again, quickly. Are they going to start a relationship next episode? Because again, their chemistry has been really well done throughout this whole season, so I'm really curious. So overall, I thought all the characters had some really strong stories here. Even Win, who was kind of more of a catalyst for, or not catalyst, but I guess I would say a pawn for all the different stories, Lena's story and James. Like, he was kind of in the middle, but he still played really well, especially for James's story. So I'm glad that they did more with Win in this episode. So overall, I mean, just another great episode of Supergirl. I've been loving this season, and I'm always gushing over every episode, because so far it just hasn't failed, and I'm glad to see that. So yeah, again, a great episode. Can't wait to see next week's, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'll have a review next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later.